Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the channel. Once again, we are back with some more Jump the Lines from the old friend of the channel, from David, for Angelica Hale. It's been a little while since I've jumped into anything of hers. Still planning on getting to a couple of videos on my own, but David did step in with a couple of requests, so we're going to check these out first. The first one I'm going to look at is one that several of you have actually talked about in the comments on some of my other reactions to her. This is going to be her cover of Skyfall, which is one of my it's one of my favorite songs, I think, by Adele. I was big on the James Bond train back when this film came out. Love this song. This song is one of the things, to be honest, that made that film so iconic. So I'm going to jump into that. The second one that he has me looking at is it says training pop star Angelica Hale for her Broadway debut. This was her working with her coach Tara Simmons. It's a longer video. I think I might record both of those together, potentially put them out in a single video. I don't know yet. We'll see. But when we get to the end of this one, how long this video is, that'll determine that. But I really want to get these two out. I have been very busy, very distracted, and I don't know that they're late yet, but I feel like I'm running behind on the Jump the Line requests, so I'm going to try to get through both of these in one sitting if I can. If you're watching on YouTube, like, comment, subscribe, all the things. You know how it works. You're not new here. This is my music reaction channel. I also have a TV and film reaction channel if you want to check that one out. Tons of stuff over there to look at and see. Excuse me, tons of things over there to join me on. There's my Patreon where you can get unedited reactions to my TV and film content, usually picture-in-picture. You can check those things out in the description down below. There is an allmylinks.com link that will take you to all of my social media accounts, all different ways to support the channel. But for now, we're just going to jump into this. Again, this is Angelica Hale singing Skyfall. Oh, that's familiar. I really like these. I've watched one of the videos of hers that are shot like this, and I really like this new approach. Wait, I'm just going to comment on it. Look at this. I don't know. I haven't watched her video with Tara Simons, whatever, where they prepped the Golden Hour performance. I really want to, because this expression on her face here, this moment before that she's built, is very impressive. I like to think, like, there's a part of me that thinks, like, did she when she was like getting ready to move into this stage of her career, did she watch some of my videos? Because this is really, it's really well done, and I'm really curious to see if this is a part of what she covers with her coach, with Tara Simmons. Is it Simons? I think it's Simons. Anyway, because this is pro level. This is very, very nice. I'm really liking what I see from her character wise, and it really helps draw an audience member into the performance. It helps sort of set the stage, and it makes everything that happens after it just that much more believable and immersive. So I'm really impressed by this. This is really good work.
This is the end.
Whoa. Okay.
Hold your breath and count to 10. Feel the earth move and then hear my heart burn again.
Wait, okay, wait. I know we just started. Is this new? Have I just not heard her in too long? Or this vibrato that she's showing off does not feel, to the best of my memory, it's been a little while, but am I wrong? Or is this a very intentional, it's like a very intentionally stylized vibrato for this performance? Because it doesn't sound to my ear like exactly like what I'm used to hearing from her, just from her natural vibrato. This feels like it's very, very intentional. The sort of wobbliness of it, this really dark tone that she's giving also feels really intentional, like something that was practiced and and learned and chosen specifically for this performance, which is perfect, by the way, for this performance. Am I wrong? Maybe I just, like I said, maybe I just haven't heard her in too long. But if I'm right, and these are intentional choices that have been made, the level of skill and versatility on display that's insane. That's really incredible. I'm so used to reacting to her as this young girl who's sort of finding her footing and trying new things and experimenting and still discovering her voice. But these last two performances, the Golden Hour performance and now this one, very different. And also, they're so polished. Like no more am I thinking this is someone discovering their voice. This feels to me more like somebody who's found their who's very comfortable with their instrument, very comfortable in their skin, knows who they are as an artist, and is making very deliberate choices for each performance. You guys tell me in the comments if maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I just haven't been listening to her enough. But this feels like a whole new Angelica.
This is the end. Hold your breath and count to 10.
So good.
Feel the earth move and then hear my heart burst again.
Okay, and the again, right? That wasn't again. Everything about this is really impressive. It's blowing me away. I'm sorry. I know this is really emotional. I know the song's really intense. I'm kind of geeking out over the vocal performance right now, which is, again, that's not my area. I will shift my perspective back to the actual performance. I'm kind of geeking out about this. I really love Angelica. I always have. I thought she's got a ton of talent and so much potential, but this is potential realized. Does that make sense? And it's really exciting for me, considering that I've been on this journey with her for a while now.
Hear my heart burst again, for this is the end.
Look at that.
I've drowned and dreamt this moment.
Just a little crinkle of the brow. Instant.
So overdue I owe them. Swept away I'm stolen. Let the sky fall. When it crumbles, we will stand tall and face it all together at Skyfall. You may have my number, you can take my name, but you'll never have my heart. Let the sky fall when it crumbles. We will stand tall and face it all together. Let the sky fall when it crumbles.
Little cry.
We will stand tall and face it all. It's Skyfall. Where you go, I go. What you see, I see. I know I'd never be me without the security of your loving arms, keeping me warm. Put your hand in my hand, and we'll stand. Skyfall.
Okay.
When it crumbles, we will stand tall and face it all together. Let the sky fall.
Okay. Like so many applause. I've got to watch her I will say this. So the moment after, I've talked about it a bunch. That moment after, right there, this little moment, I love that she's holding on to this performance completely all the way through to the end. This little bit felt a teensy bit choreographed. Right there. It's not a bad thing. Here's what I'm trying to say. The only critique of that entire performance, and I mean the only one, everything I was watching was super impressive. Her vocals are insane now compared to, she was always great, but now they're next level right now. Every part of that performance, the small little micro expressions, little, like I said, little crinkling of the brow, tensing of different face muscles, where she was placing her eyes at different times in the performance, her shoulders and her arms being so involved in the intention of each line that was getting delivered. It was all beautifully done. So if there's one critique that I could offer, which I do, right at the end, that last, I have no problem with the choreography, and I have no problem with choreographing those moments, like the closing of the eyes and all that right at the end. My suggestion would be, I've got to shift gears, because the way I would have spoken to Angelica in some of the other performances I've covered in the past to help her find more authentic ways to deliver certain things would be completely different than the way I would speak to her if I were sitting in this performance. This person that we're watching is a completely new artist, in my mind anyway, from what I used to get from her a while back. So the way I would communicate would be much more succinct and straight to the point. I wouldn't feel the need to sort of coax her into anything. I feel like she's at a place, just watching this performance, I feel like she's at a place of maturity where I could just tell her straight up, this is what you need to do. And what I would tell her is, in that last moment, I love the choreography that you guys have chosen. I think it's great. I think it works really well with the song. I think it could be incredibly affecting. What I would suggest is to take a little time and find a more authentic motivation for closing your eyes. Find an actual internal emotional reason why you would do that. Why you would be closing your eyes down, which was usually we do that to. It sounds a little abrasive, but usually we do that to hide. Whether we're having an intense emotion and we don't necessarily want to give it all away to the people around us, so we close our eyes for a second, to kind of give us a minute without communicating everything. That's the main reason, and whether it's for that reason or another, generally we close our eyes like that to hide. It's called hooding. Okay, if you want to talk about facial gestures, it's called hooding, and we do that to cover the sort of windows to our soul, right? To hold back some information. So I would suggest to her to take a little bit of time and consider the lyrics, consider the character, consider where she's at and what she's been communicating up to that point, and decide this is why I would close my eyes here. This is what would prompt me to close my eyes. I'm feeling these things. I've decided this. For me, it would probably be something along the lines of, I've expressed all these really intense things. I don't want them to know that it's affecting me this much. I want to hold that back. I want to compose myself so that I don't give away too much moving into whatever's happening after the performance. In the performance, now we're not talking about the actual audience. Whatever scenario she has in her mind, in that space, I want to compose myself because it's affected me. They can see it's affected me, but I don't want them to see how much. So for just a second, I'm just going to close my eyes for a minute, and then I'm going to look back. And she did. When she opened her eyes, it was a little bit more of a strength there. So it was closed eyes, composed, and then strong stare. And that's kind of what happens. And again, it was all great choices. I just feel like it felt a little, I don't want to say the word inauthentic because I don't want you guys coming for me, but it did. It felt a little bit inauthentic. It felt a little practiced. And I think that the way to fix that, it's a very simple fix for somebody like Angelica, who's obviously been working really hard on these things. Just take a minute, find a motivation, find a reason to do this that is more connected, more authentic. And then rather than saying, okay, now I'm supposed to close my eyes, just get to that place, find that thought, that reasoning, and allow the movements, the gestures, the closed eyes, all of that to happen naturally from that mentality, from that reasoning, from that motivation. Other than this little thing, and it's an incredibly small thing, there's nothing to critique in this performance. It was so good. Her tone was so dark and so full. The vibrato was beautiful, and I do feel like that had to be an intentional choice. I don't remember her ever having a vibrato exactly like that before, and it was used so much more frequently than what I'm used to hearing from her, and I have to think that that's a choice. And a wonderful choice. Anyway, this was Angelica Hale singing Skyfall. Beautifully, absolutely gorgeous performance. That makes me really excited for her future performances. She's just remarkable. So now we're going to jump into training pop star Angelica Hale for her Broadway debut. I'm trying to decide, do I want to do this in one video? I think I do. We're just going to keep on going here. We're 16 minutes. We can get this one done as quickly as possible. Call this a bonus, and we'll just get right through this. So this is her Broadway debut. I think she was doing Betty Boop, right? She was doing Boop. So we're going to check this out really quickly. 1 second.
We are switching gears here.
Yes.
This is no longer Pop Princess. This is Broadway Beauty.
Okay.
Oh my God.
But how does she go from being that woman we just saw singing Skyfall to being this adorable little girl? How does she do that? That's kind of crazy. It's so incredible.
No longer Pop Princess. This is Broadway Beauty.
Oh my God.
So what's the difference between Pop Princess and Broadway
I
Beauty?
love this
A lot of
conversation.
things. Well, first of all, the style.
Yeah.
Duh.
Yes.
And the oh my God.
How do you sing different?
The vowels.
Vowels are very different. Where's the placement?
Vowels. Very masky.
Okay, for you, because you tend to sing more like back, more breathy, poppy, mixy.
Yeah.
But this is like
Yeah.
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 Yeah. She is not like any girl. I'm sorry, woman you could possibly have known.
good. On that note, you have known.
You have known.
Yes.
No.
It's got a ring.
Known.
Yeah, there's an ow in there. Known.
Known.
Yes.
Very good.
Okay.
That's Broadway Beauty.
The ow!
I would have said baby, but you're a little too old for that now, so Broadway Beauty it
I'm
is.
16 now, Miss Tara.
You're still my Broadway baby? All right.
She's
I
still
want
a
you to
baby.
mentally be like, oh, that was a mistake.
Yeah.
Yeah, because this isn't just about singing it great. You have to act the words. Yeah?
Exactly.
All right, here we go. Talk.
That's my
She
area.
is not like any girl. I'm sorry, woman.
Yes.
You could possibly
Very good.
have known.
Yes.
And she has something. What a quality! 1,000 strong opinions of her own.
Perfect. Yes.
And from the moment that she says I'm Betty High, then she takes her hand and looks you in the eyes. You will never be the person that you were before you met her.
Yes.
She is strong. She is smart. Open mind. Open
Okay,
heart.
this is so
Okay.
good. You fixed
Okay.
the verse completely.
Okay, real quick. So my comment here would be: I know that Tara is working mostly on vocals, but she's talking a little bit about performance. Those couple of lines there, she is this, she is that. I would work on that a little bit. There needs to be, she needs to actually be. So the way I would do that would be to talk to somebody about the person they're speaking about in the play, right? Who is that person? What are the instances that you've seen that display those characteristics? She is X, she is Y, she is Z. What are the things about her? What are her actions that she's taken, whether it's something that you've had to come up with because they happened before the play or off stage, or the things on stage that demonstrate those qualities, and try to, you're not just saying these things, you're not just saying these things by rote. You're not just supposed to be reciting lines you've memorized. You need to be conjuring up these things. This is she's smart because of this reason, she's this because of that reason, and those memories of those instances of that person displaying those qualities need to be going through your mind. This is one of the most difficult things about musical theater because there's so much to consider in the moment that you have to work doubly hard in prep to be able to do what actors do, so that you don't have to consciously go through those things on stage. You already have it in your body. You know, you're it's almost like muscle memory for your mind. Those thoughts come to you automatically as those lines come, and that helps propel you through the dialogue. But with singers, they also have all of the musical aspects that they have to keep in mind as well, which also can't be too conscious during the performance. They have to have sort of grounded those things into themselves and created that muscle memory as well. So it's really a double. It's double work for really strong musical performances in musicals. For that specific reason, it's a ton of work. It takes an incredibly talented person to do both really well, and I think that it's something that doesn't get enough respect oftentimes from audiences because you just don't know. You don't know how much actually goes into it. So I'm interested to see what Tara has to say here.
When we come into this part, I'm getting more Pop Princess than Broadway Beauty.
Okay.
Because we're losing that forward placement. She is strong. She is smart.
She is strong.
That's what we were doing. That's not what we want to do. She is strong. She is smart.
She is strong. She is smart.
Yes. And unlike Pop, where we omit R's, Broadway, bring on the R's.
Yeah, we need our
She is
consonants.
strong. She is smart.
She is strong. She is smart.
Yes, and smart is smart to sing that way because you get
Smart.
more sound out.
Smart.
Yes.
Open mind. Open heart.
Yes, on the mind. That was great
Heart.
placement.
Yeah.
Good. Okay,
little
let's back
more.
it up.
She is strong. She is smart. Open mind.
Yes.
Open heart. She is fun. Like a lot.
Yes.
All the cool, perfect things that I am not.
Okay, I would need a little more emotion
It's so
there.
beautiful.
I
It's so
know.
pretty. I just want more of an abrasive nasal forward sound on the not.
There
Yes.
There we go.
Where's that been? Hello.
Oops.
Boops.
Oh my god. All the cool, perfect things that I am not.
Good.
That's so good. So good.
She is not a
And I know they're not necessarily working the performance here because she's like, they're just not, because there's not a whole lot of emotional transitioning happening. One of the things, again, that I would talk about at this moment, one of the things that you need to focus on here as a musical theater performer is when you talk about the things that I am not, you need to decide what that means for you. What does that feel like? Are you jealous? Are you ashamed that you're not those things? Are you proud of her for being those things that you haven't been able to be yourself? But you will need to have that layer of whatever it is emotionally, whether it's disappointment, whether it's a feeling of insecurity, whatever that comes from that promotes the idea that sort of compels the expression, I'm not those things. So that's another layer. That's another instance of what I'm talking about when musical performers for musical theater really have to pull double duty when it comes to this area. Now, in this moment, you don't have to do them both at once, okay? You don't have to do them both at once. Right now, they're working on the vocals and trying to get all of that right. And Tara's offering really great coaching. She's doing a really great job of keeping Angelica a positive and giving her the critique she needs without beating her down or letting her beat herself up. So I'm enjoying what I'm watching here. I'm just trying to give a little bit of an insight into the things that I would be bringing to, or someone from my background with my intention would be bringing to this session.
perfect things that I am not.
That's so good. So good.
She is not afraid to fight for all the people who
Love
cannot
that.
defend themselves.
Yes.
Ooh. And she's read every book the library has listed, I mean on and off the shelves.
Shelves.
She will help old ladies cross a busy street.
Yep.
Win a dozen games of chess and never cheat.
Yep.
And she'll shower you with kindness and affection if you let her.
Okay.
On her.
Poppy. Let her.
Yeah.
If you let her. Ooh.
Her.
If you let her. Is it
That's
so high?
better. No, that's better. Just think scrunched and forward.
If you let her.
That was it.
It's a big transition, actually, for someone who's very used to singing pop music.
If you let her.
The H.
You need the H.
If you let her.
That's also a thing that's very different
There's
from
something about that H that
Broadway
forces
to
the sound of
pop
bounce
music.
off of it.
Yeah.
You
And then
need the
vibrato is more
consonants.
even after that.
Yeah.
More steady. Okay, good.
She's
That
really
was
hitting her
very
T's.
Good.
If
Which
you
is great.
let her.
Yes.
At the ends of her
She
phrases.
has spunk, she has spine, she's a saint, bottom line, volunteers,
Yes.
'cause she cares,
Good.
human rights, world affairs, she
Yep.
can sing like a pro,
Good.
steal your heart, stop the show,
Yes.
speaks Chinese, just because she's a well-rounded girl I never was.
Yes. That gave me goosebumps.
Good.
Woo!
Very good.
Yes.
Everything that I aspire to, things she does that no one else will do.
Now, if there's a part at all in this song to be breathy, this is
Yeah,
it.
because it's like everything,
Dreamy, yeah.
everything that I aspire to. Yeah, yeah.
Like it's almost a prayer or a secret to a friend. Everything that I aspire to.
things she does that no one else will do.
And then you start growing a little
makes
bit
me wanna-
further.
yeah.
Yes, okay?
Everything that I aspire to,
Yep.
things she does that no one else will do, makes me want to ask her if I met her, what it takes to be
Nice
a 10
what?
times better me.
Yeah.
That was good.
Nice. Good.
That was really good.
OG, she says OG. I would stand on my head to be her, like I said, half as brave, half as good could I be? Yes, I could. She is one.
Stop. Do you need a breath there?
Do I?
Don't do it to me. Yes, I could. She is da 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 da.
You can do it.
Breath, girl.
You don't. You can do that.
You don't need it.
Okay.
Because I want more of that sound.
I mean, I can hold it longer.
I
So-
know.
So, okay.
Sometimes if you got it, flaunt
Give it. Yeah, if you got it, fun. Okay.
Right. So let's just see. I mean, I don't want it to mess up the
I don't think it
tempo
will.
of the song
Yeah.
vocally, but I really think it's a nice moment, and it's the only moment we're doing this in the song. So
Yeah.
I think it's appropriate.
She's not. So that was my thought in my mind. Was that the only concern I would have for her consciously switching that up and doing what apparently doesn't feel quite as natural, which is to hold that and not take that breath there, would it interrupt the sort of emotional? She's on this sort of emotional stair climber right now at that moment. She's like da 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 da, and holding it, would that mess up that rhythm for her? We'll find out if it does or not. And if it does, but it's something that the vocal coach is really I don't want to say insistent on, but if it's something they really feel will enhance the performance, then it would be just a little bit of tweaking from someone like me. Or from her. I don't know what Tara's training is, so if she has that training as well, then she can do this too. You know, whoever has the responsibility of working with the performer from a character standpoint, it would be that responsibility of that person then to come in afterward and say, okay, these are the adjustments we can make to help get you through that without you having to take that breath, without you having to take that moment. Vocally, we can still find ways to make this happen and keep that emotional climb ascending smoothly. So it's a really interesting, delicate little dance when you're working with stage performers on a musical production, because as the way I've always worked in that situation, I'm secondary when it comes to actually getting the songs out. When it comes to an actual musical performance in the piece, my job is to come in after the vocal coach, after the choreography, and then help the performers find what they need emotionally, character from a character perspective, to make it work within the construct that the vocal coach, that the choreographer, that the composer has built.
Let's give it a shot. Could I be? Yes, I could. She is warm.
Yes.
She is wise. And
In this case, I think it actually helped.
Yes.
She is kind like a lot.
Yes.
All the things I am not, but I love.
Yes.
Yes, I will. That's
That
such
is
a
so hard. The ooh.
The ooh is
Do
tough.
that.
Okay.
In this instance, I actually think that working through the breath rather than stopping to take one actually helped. Whether it made her feel more like she was like pushing more, so she had a little more intensity, a little more focus. Maybe it even pulled her mind a little bit away from consciously trying to make character choices, which allowed things to happen more naturally. Whatever the case was, I think that making that decision actually helped her characterization. So, I mean, golden.
Can't you boo?
Well, I wasn't gonna say bop, but Betty Boop. Ew.
It's such
ew.
a hard-
There's an E in there that you have to add because boop. Even though that
Super
could be
soft.
well placed, it's not. Doesn't sound like it should. It's
I
too
know.
far back. You got to get it more forward. Betty Boop. So show me those teeth.
Betty boop. Okay, well, there
Yes.
you go.
Very
If you
good.
try to show
Like,
your
ew.
two front teeth, ew, like that,
Ew, yeah.
it'll go exactly where it needs to be.
Okay.
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 Very good.
Like a little Valley Girlish, That hold was so good.
Yes. Yeah. It was
I'll
so
do
good.
it. It's really good. It gives me, as the listener, more of what I'm wanting from you. I feel a
Yeah.
little robbed when you breathe. 'Cause,
Yeah.
Like, I don't know why, but I
Well, it's
do
not
want to
long
listen to it
enough,
longer.
basically.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. And you breathed at the perfect spot. And it added drama when you breathe because
And
you
that
actually
face.
needed it.
Yeah.
You know?
It's like I'm like railing off all the things I love about her, and I have to take a breath. And that face.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah.
She is warm, she is wise, and that face and those eyes.
Yes.
She is kind, like a lunch. All the things I am not,
Yep.
but I learn. Yes, I will.
yes.
I won't stop,
Beautiful.
not until people see what I see.
Show me.
Betty Boop.
Better. Well,
Yes.
much better.
Best of her and me.
Straight, 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 straight. Vibrato. Oh, you got 3 more seconds on that note.
I was literally dying. I was like,
So
"Ee."
think of rationing your breath, painting that rainbow. 1 all the way across the side. So make your
Yeah.
12 here, your and after 12 there. Okay?
Okay.
Let's try it again.
It'll
The
happen.
best of her and me.
3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Off. Yes.
Very good.
Beautiful. Beautiful.
And the
How'd that
vibrato
feel?
control is
I think that was good.
very,
Really
very,
good.
very,
This
very
is just
nice.
all about forward placement, showing the teeth, and planning out.
Yeah.
Like especially at the end, that straight tone to vibrato. Okay. It's really beautiful. You just have to switch gears from pop princess to Broadway beauty.
Yeah.
Okay.
That'll come.
Okay.
It'll come.
You got it. You got it. Good
Yay! Hooray!
It's already there, so it'll come. Okay, hold on one second. So that was a little bit of the prep, and I'm heard we have the performance. I haven't seen anything of this performance at all, so I'm actually really excited about this. So I'm going to jump into that in just a second. I just think that she's doing an amazing job. Tara's a very, very, very good coach. I think she's doing an amazing job. I haven't seen her give too much advice from an acting standpoint, so I don't know what her qualifications or knowledge base or level is on that. But the things that she has said, the little tidbits that she's had to throw in during this, and well, I've only seen her in one other thing. It had nothing to do with Broadway. So during this particular session with her, she seems to know she seems to be very knowledgeable, and she's handling Angelica really, really well. Not letting her get too high on things, but also not allowing her to dwell too much on her mistakes, keeping her moving forward. She's just got a great attitude. I think that her and Angelica work together really well. Angelica obviously respects her a lot. I think this is beautiful. This is a great performance. This is a great coaching session, vocal coaching session. I think that I'm impressed with both of them, and I think Angelica will be fine. I do think that transition from pop to Broadway is challenging, but she's already got it. Like, she knows it's there. It's just going to take a little repetition. She's just going to have to build it up a little bit. I think that she's done a great job. Tara has of teaching her what it means, and now Angelica, being as smart as she is and as dedicated as she is, it just needs to take the time and sort of root that in and ground it. it's important because she'll need to go back and forth. She's not going to be doing Broadway with every performance she does, so she's going to need to have that knowledge base and be able to transition from one style to the other. And I have no doubt from what I've seen that she's going to be able to do that pretty seamlessly once she kind of gets it down.
And from the moment that she says I'm Betty High, then she takes her hand and looks you in the eye. You will never be the person that you were before you met her.
Beautiful.
She is strong, she is smart, open mind, open heart. She is fun, like a lot, all the cool, perfect things that I am.
Okay, right. Well, right there. Look at that. Yes. So yeah, the vocal performance. She's giving us all those notes. Look at that bit of sadness. Look at the upturned brow. That's what I was talking about. I'm getting emotional. That's so good. It's so good. When she gets to all the things that I'm not, just watch it turn from this excited, happy, explaining all these wonderful things about her to that little bit of. There's a little bit of sadness there. What the specific emotion is, I couldn't tell you exactly at the moment. Whether it's because I would have to see the whole play and I have to know more about the dynamic that they build between her character and Betty Boop throughout this time. But you can tell it's there. It's either, like I said, it might be like a self-esteem thing. It might be a little bit of sadness. It might be a little bit of shame. But whatever it is, it's on that end of the emotional spectrum. And she's expressing it beautifully at just the right time and naturally, very authentically. I'm so impressed by it. It's great. That's exactly what I was talking about.
Perfect things that I am. She is not afraid to fight for all the people who cannot defend themselves. And she's read every book the library has listed, I mean on and off the shelves. She will help old ladies
Visualizing.
cross the street, win a dozen games of chess and never cheat. And she'll shower you with kindness and affection if you let her.
Beautiful.
If you let her. She has spunk, she has fun. She's a saint, bottom line volunteers. 'Cause she cares, humanize world affairs. She can sing like a pro, steal your heart, stop the show. Speaks Chinese just because she's the Arabic girl I've ever loved.
Beautiful job.
Everything that I aspire to, things she does and no one else will do, makes me wanna ask her if I'm better, what it takes to be a 10 times better me. Oh gee, I would stand on my head to be her, like I said, half as brave, half as good, could I be? Yes, I could. She is wise at that pace and those eyes. She is kind like a light. All the things I have done, but I learned. Yes, I will. I won't stop, not until people see what I see. Betty Boop, the best of her is me.
This is the moment that every vocal coach waits for.
Okay. Yeah, that was really good. Jesus Christ. Excuse me. That was really good. It's a weird feeling because in a very strange way, I feel like I've gone on that journey with her a little bit, having gone through her prep the way I just did. It felt, I don't know, I guess I kind of developed a, when you coach somebody like this, hold on. So when you're coaching somebody through a performance like this, you start to take on a sense of ownership of their success. Like, and we especially in today's society right now, we don't have a good understanding, I think, a lot of the times of the word ownership. All I mean is that it becomes her success, the goals that she's trying to achieve during this performance as a coach, they become your goals. everything she's trying to achieve becomes just as important to you, that it gets achieved, and it becomes you take it on yourself. You own that. If she struggles or if she falters, you feel that as if you struggled and you faltered. It feels as though it is your responsibility. It is it is as much on you as it is on her. Which, please don't think I am saying in any way that a vocal coach or a director or anybody in that kind of position would attempt, if they're not a horrible person, would attempt to even the least to take any credit away from the performer. But it is a shared victory. You take ownership of that performance from a prep perspective, from the preparation. You are just as invested. And so whenever you watch someone achieve so brilliantly, the sense of pride is very akin to what you feel as a parent. It feels, because that's a kind of ownership. I'm and somehow, just over that brief little moment, just a moment ago, of watching her go through that prep process, and I guess giving my thoughts and my input on it probably aided that. Somewhere in there, I guess I maybe took on a little bit of that ownership inside myself. So watching her perform it felt very personal for me, and there was such a sense of pride, particularly toward the end when she'd gone through all these things, nailing everything. It was so good. And so as she got toward the end of it and it was sort of culminating and, just getting toward that finish, knowing how well it had gone and how wonderful a job she'd done, and seeing her sort of top it off and really sort of just everything was so good. I don't know. I can't explain it, but it did feel that way to me. I got a little emotional. It was really wonderful, and I hope she's incredibly, incredibly proud of herself. That was so good.
Every vocal coach waits for. After all of the practice, all of the hard work, I got to hug my little unicorn after her first Broadway debut. And she did so wonderful. And I got to tell her right here how proud I was of her, give her flowers, and see the look back on her face, knowing how amazing she did. If you're someone watching this and you're super inspired by it, listen, Angelica's parents called me for lessons, and that's where it all started. You can do the same thing. I want to help you. My coaches want to help you. All you need to do to start your own journey is click on the description box below and get started today.
I mean, that's nice. I think, oh, look, there I am. How about that? That's the golden hour video. I think that's lovely, and it's true. I think tempering expectations is important. Getting to Broadway it's kind of like getting to the NBA or something, or getting into the NFL. If you want to look at it from that perspective, it's a difficult journey, and it's not going to happen for everybody, at least not that prominently. So it's you want to make sure that they know going in that they're going to have to work their tail off for it, and that it can happen for anybody. If it's something that you're very passionate about, the biggest key is to be persistent and never give up and never stop fighting. But it's really nice. And yeah, she spoke on it, basically what I was saying. You do that feeling when you've worked with someone on something like this and you see it come together for them. It is such a powerful emotional moment. And I'm really glad that they got to share that. I loved seeing her together with her after that. Yeah, it was good. That was really good. I enjoyed that a lot. This was Angelica Hale singing first Skyfall, and then her little training session and performance for her Broadway debut in Boop. Beautiful, incredibly well done. So good. Thanks so much for watching. Thanks to David again for jumping the line. Again, I'm sorry that this came a little bit later than I was hoping to get it to you, but I hope you enjoyed it. This was really wonderful. I'm so excited for her future. There's so much opportunity going to be coming her way. I'm very excited about it. Thank you so much for being here. Like, comment, subscribe, all the things. Check out the Patreon. And for now, that's all I have for you. Please remember, as always, to be kind to each other, and most importantly, to be kind to yourself.